So today, just thank you, Michelle. So today, let's see. What we're going to talk about today, this is going to be a working Zoom, okay? So we're going to be doing some things together. And like I said this morning, all of these trainings really build on each other, okay? So that means that everything that you're learning each day, the point is for you to begin to implement it. And I'll just tell you guys, like I just had two more people get their one this morning. Like this promotion is going, it's not a promotion. This campaign is going so insanely well. So first, before we even get started, will you put in the chat if you've gotten your one? I just want to see. Because I tell you what, guys, we have had such enormous growth in the last few days. But the thing that I really want you to remember, okay, no sad faces allowed in this chat, okay? None. Did you miss my training this morning? That's right. Good. That's right. You might not yet, but it's coming. Attitude is everything, right? It's happening today. Yes, Kara. So what we're going to be doing today is kind of building on what we've already learned, right? That's right, Nancy. Mindset. So we're going to be building on what we've already learned this week, okay? So the first thing that we're going to start with, and I have a couple of people. Yes, Tina, it is posted in our chats, and I believe it is in our team page as well. Good morning, Jen. I'm not keeping up here. There we go. Okay, so if you didn't get your one yet, that's perfect, actually. That's amazing because that means you get to add another skill on to the conversations we've started. Okay, so this morning is going to be really about building on what we've learned. We're going to start off with some conversations. This is going to be a working Zoom, okay? So if you've ever done my 100 conversations challenge with me that I do on Thursday nights, it's going to be slightly similar, not quite the same. Because we're going to talk a little bit first about the steps, and I want you guys to follow through the steps with me this morning, okay? So we heard about the training that Eric, everybody watched the training Eric did about sending the messages, right? First of all, I'm so proud of this team, the way we're showing up. We've had 3 Zooms this week with over 800 people on it. Guys, that is insane. And if you haven't made a post about that, I would, because that's wild. It's so much fun. And keep in mind as well, and this is the thing I really want you to be thinking about as we're going through this, as the week is progressing, is that you are planting seeds that are we're going to continue to be fostering those seeds, right? So don't feel bad if one hasn't come to fruition yet. I wouldn't expect it to, honestly. Like it's wild the ones that have, but what I would be expecting is as these conversations and we're cultivating these conversations, the seeds that we've planted, they're going to begin to come to fruition later this week, next week, the week after that, into March. Okay, we're creating a level of momentum that's going to go far beyond this week. Okay, so if you're feeling frustrated that you didn't get your one yet, stop it right now and go watch the training when I'm done here that I did this morning. Okay, because mindset is everything. So I gotta turn this over or I'm gonna be distracted by my phone popping off. And anybody else get that? I have to help my own self. Yes, Fortune is absolutely in the follow-up. So that's what we're gonna be talking about today, okay? We're gonna be doing a couple of things. We're gonna take a few minutes to start some conversations. Then we're gonna take a few minutes to practice the pivot. How many people already started conversations that they haven't pivoted yet? You have some going that we haven't pivoted yet. We're still having a conversation, right? We're going to pivot a few today, and I'm going to help. And then we're going to take some time to do some follow up. Okay? Now, I also have some people that I'm going to bring up that are having really wild success already and have them share the scripts that they're using and how they've pivoted. Okay? So that you can learn from people that are actively doing it. It doesn't just have to be me, right? Doesn't have to be just me and Tina, the leaders. sharing. It can be people doing it right now at your same level. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to start off by having genuine conversations, okay? Now, we could do it a couple of different ways. Typically, I like to just play some music and set a timer for 10 minutes. I did figure out how to do that from my computer. And I think I can do it from here. But either way, that's the first thing we're going to do, okay? We're going to create some conversations, and I'm going to give you a couple of things that you can do to start the conversation, okay? So first off, when we're creating genuine conversations, we're not talking about the business and we're not talking about the product. We're just saying, hey. Now, where I like to start is the green light challenge. And some of you will know what that means. Going into Messenger, and I will show you here. When you go into Messenger, all along the top, you see the little bubbles and there's a little green dot, right? You're probably going to see your team. You might see sidelines that pop up first. Keep scrolling over. You're going to start to see other people. Might be your friends, your family, people you haven't talked to for a while. Sometimes there's random ones in there. That's perfect. We're going to create conversations with them. And you're going to reach out and you can do a couple of different things, okay? You can either just say hi. What I like to say is, like, oh, hey, Sally, I saw that you were active on Messenger and realized I hadn't talked to you in like 3 months. How are you? How was your holidays? What'd you guys do? Remember we talked about this morning about being a real person? This is where that's going to begin. So we're going to start off by just starting the conversation. If you're like, I don't actually know how I know this lady, I don't know. Go to her profile or his profile and look a little bit. You'll find something to message them on. Remember the posture we talked about this morning too. You have to stay postured as you're sending these conversations, starting these conversations. If you're starting the conversation and you already feel weird, that's going to come out, okay? So if you need to take a minute to do some jumping jacks, air punch the air, whatever you got to do, turn on something to get you jazzed, do that. But we want to start these conversations already being postured, excited, cheerful. That's coming across even if you're just texting, okay? So we're going to just create conversations for 10 minutes. That's it. And all you're saying is hi. Do not respond yet. If they say, oh, hey, how are you? It's going to feel weird. It's okay. We want to just start as many as we can in 10 minutes. Okay? Everybody got that? This part should feel super natural, right? It's not hard to say hi, right? Obviously, if you have some questions, feel free. Yes, ready? Feel free to throw questions in the chat. I'm going to quick set a timer. I'll play a little bit of music for 10 minutes, okay? Try to keep track of how many you're doing so that we can come back and see where we're at, okay? So I'm setting a timer for 10 minutes. Also, if you don't like my music choice, I absolutely will not be offended by that, so. Figure it out. I might not be able to. All right, I can't figure it out. That's all right. You can play your own music. I can play it from my phone. It doesn't seem to translate very well every time I do that. If you need to mute me, go ahead. I'm just going to keep giving a little bit of ideas on what. Here, let me move this over. Good, Shannon, you've pivoted some. Just saying hi, Cindy, yes. All right, so to find your green dot, go to your messenger Okay, up along the top, you're gonna see little bubbles with a little green dot on it. Those are the people we're starting with. And yes, we're just saying hi. If you have something pertinent to add, like asking them how their travel was, how's their kid, whatever, if you might know, go ahead and do that. You can also check out their profile. All right, that's okay. Go on Facebook and start messaging everybody who pops up in your feed saying hi. You could totally do a voice clip, Sue, if you want to. Absolutely.
Sarah, can I say something?
Sure.
Okay, I love this. By the way, this is so fun, you guys. I'm loving that you're doing this, Sarah. I was going to say, I love voice clips. I just love voice clips. I think that any kind of a message is better than not doing a message. But the reason I love voice clips is because people know it's not a copy and paste, especially if you say their name, it's you. And it's so personal. And do you ever come across somebody you haven't seen in a long time and just hearing their voice or seeing their face, you're like, oh my gosh, I love them.
Yes.
So when it's your voice, it's so good. So if you can do the voice, I would do the voice. Okay, that's it. That's all I have.
No, I love it. It's so true. Because then they feel like that's more authentic too. Yeah, it is faster. Like I send voice clips constantly. I'm either doing voice to text or voice clips. And sometimes I forget. Who forgets when they're doing one or the other? I'll be sending a voice clip and I'll say comma out loud.
Oh my gosh,
Exclamation
I totally do that.
I totally do that. Yeah, a mix of both. Elaine, that's why we're doing this. It's okay that you don't know. That's exactly why we do these blitzes every day, is to help. You
Yeah,
just,
I love that you asked because actually sometimes I'll do a text one, you guys, and right when you said that, I was like, oh, reminder to myself. Yeah, it usually works better when I do my voice. So, we're
yeah,
all just doing this together. We're all in it together.
that's right. That's so good. Don't overthink it. You're just saying hi.
Can I ask you a really quick question?
Yes.
Okay. And I came on because I just was texting that I like voice clips better. And then I was like, I'm not going off. I do have my son, so he may scream, FYI. Quick question for you. And I asked it in this morning too, and it kind of goes along with as we're starting these conversations. Because my time is so limited because I have my son, how do you manage keeping up with all the relationships? Because I've heard a couple different ways. So I'm one of the awkward humans. I'm very introverted. And one of the things I notice is like, yes, I can be human and have conversations, but I can't keep up those conversations. I can't keep up like with like 100 like relationships. Like I don't have time, and then I feel bad, and then I feel like in a way I'm just gonna put this out there. I feel like I'm wasting time when I could be reaching out to other people by continuing on these like conversations. And I know that's the human component, but I also feel like, oh my God, I need to be spending my time having more conversations with people that I can eventually convert. Do you know what I'm trying to say there without
Yeah,
being
I do. Yeah. So it's really a perspective shift, really. There's a couple of things. First, and this is a thing I had, it took me a minute to learn. Everybody has margin for this. Every single person has margin. You just have to figure out where it is. And when you're a busy mom and you're working full time, I've been that. I had to figure out when I could work this business in my time. And I would take Sundays and I would set up my schedule for the entire week. I'd plan my posts. I would take pictures of myself. I'd create content. I would write out my list of prospects. What was I doing each day? I had to get very intentional because this is a new job. It is. Now, it might be casual, right? Maybe part-time. You're most likely not jumping in full-time. But yeah, Renee, I love that. You figure out where the margin is. in your life? Where can you fit that in? And then start thinking about the conversations because they're not all going to convert. They're not all going to convert. But that's why we're always having new ones. And then the ones that do start to convert, those are the ones we foster, right? I would say 90% of your time should be creating new conversations and doing follow-up. That's it. That's literally it. Your business will grow if that's all you're doing. So if you shift your mindset away from, I don't have time to keep up with all of these people, instead being like, I'm going to continue to building relationships with as many people as I can until they begin to convert. That's it.
Sarah, it's Nicole. Can I add something?
Sure.
Hey, so this is great. I love everything we've been doing this week. And one thing I want to add to what was just stated, don't forget that when you start those conversations in Messenger, it puts you in the orbit of the person you're talking to.
Yes.
So even if you're not spending as much time as you feel like maybe you should chatting back and forth, the minute that you start that conversation, the next time they open up the Facebook app, who do they see? You. And the same thing in reverse, you're going to see them too. So it gives you an opportunity to engage with them, gives them an opportunity to see you. So if you're intentional about posting regarding your business, whether that's testimonials, your own progress, a win financially, this initiative that we're doing this week, growth, whatever it is, big or small, if you're intentional about showing that, anyone you've been talking to in Messenger is going to see you. And those are additional touch points, right? So the multiple touch points that we need to get people to the buy button or to the join button, that's not just what we're talking about in Messenger, but those Messenger chats are important because that also helps you in terms of the algorithm. So they see anything you're doing after that, you're in their orbit now on social. So that's something else to remember. Don't undervalue being consistent with your postings so that the people
Yes.
you're chatting with will see you.
Yes, that's such a good point. And it was something I didn't understand. I'm glad you brought that up because when I very first started, I didn't understand that. But that is why we do this. You make a connection in Messenger, and that's why when someone accepts your friend request, same thing. You're going to want to message them right away when you get that notification. Make the connection in Messenger, and your storefront starts to show up for them, which is why we're always on in business, right? We always have something up, a product, a business story, something in your stories, right? Because that's going to pop up for them. There's strategy with this. We're building authentic relationships, but we're also, um, sorry. Yes, Renee, hold on one second. We're building authentic relationships. We're also using a lot of strategy. So Renee, yes, give me 30 seconds and then I'll turn this one off and I'm going to have you share. That's okay, Tina. Just start messaging people in your feed. You can even go to your phone. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have Renee pop on and share. She's recruited, she just joined the business. Was it last month was your first full month, Renee?
No, December was my first full month,
Okay.
and every month I've hit Jade, Opal, and I'm on the brink to hit Pearl this month
Yes.
so far.
She's
Um,
absolutely killing it and recruited a lot. How many total? She just got into the champion circle.
I got
Um,
13 right now, and I signed up 6 this month so far.
she's
So
on fire.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
wanted her to pop on and share with you guys what she's using as not only as the script that she's using, but how she's converting. I thought that would be really helpful because Renee is like just a normal person. She's not an influencer. She's not, anybody who's ever gotten a big following. Like she's just a normal person and she's having amazing results. So I'm going to let you share, Renee, please.
Can I do screen share so that I could show the script? Would I
Let
be
me
able to?
Yeah, I
try.
can make her co-host.
Okay, thank you.
And thank you guys. For me, I stay 100% focused on my health because that's like uh, I'm like a very big priority for me. I had gastric bypass surgery in April 2023. So I started using the products in October because I saw that like my cravings were coming back and like all of that. And well, I started as a customer and I was like, when I got the product, I was like, why didn't I sign up as an associate? Because I have to share this with the world. So like I use myself as an example, like why it's important to sign up as an associate because you get all those discounts and then you have the capability to use your link if you choose to share it. And so I've been bringing people in that way, and just having real relatable conversations and just hearing people, and people ultimately want to be supported, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to share just the script that I used actually this week. I started this conversation with this girl Amy, like the end of January, and then she actually signed up as an associate on Saturday. So it didn't happen right away. I built that conversation, and that's how we got from where it was. So let me do share screen so you can see it, and I'll walk you through it. All right, can you guys see it okay?
It's small, but I think we can see it. And
Okay.
if you can't, maybe that's something you could send to Aaron and he could add that to the recording, maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
So she actually watched one of my lives. Um, so I said, "Hey, Amy, thanks for watching my live. Would you like to learn more about the natural plant-based products that I've been using?" So she said, "Yes, please." So I said, "This is the system that I've been using, and love how it activates the GLP-1 naturally without the shot, and it's all natural and plant-based." And so I actually took the verbiage from the site and I just copy and pasted that into my message, and then with the picture. Um, and then I just continue the conversation. I put a little testimonial of my before and after when I started. Well, this was in January. Just in January, this was my results. I was just floored at how that changed. But even from October when I started till now, like the inches, the weight, and all the things, I've totally been able to lose. And, people want to see that it's possible. And so I'm constantly sharing those habits that I'm doing every single day. So I said I've seen amazing progress in my body since I started, but when just this month too. So I said I do have a group I can add you to with real testimonials too. So that's Ripple. And then she said, "You have been on this for just a month." I said, "No, I started in October and seeing myself losing inches monthly, but this month the pounds was just melting off." And then I always send like what the guidelines are, how to use the products, what we recommend and all that. I send testimonials. I send them overviews. I do this like consistently, especially when I'm in an active conversation with somebody. And then I said, "Hey, Amy, thanks for checking out my," oh, no, I already did that. I don't know why that's, oh yeah, I said, "Thanks for checking out my live." And so actually that was a second live that she watched of mine. So I sent her another message saying that. And then I said, "Hey, Amy, how are you doing? Doing okay. Then you, what is good weight loss? I have a big belly, blah, 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 blah." And then I went over that I had a gastric bypass back in April 2023. And then in July, actually, my doctors recommended me to do the shot, which I did do the shots from July through September, started the MDHS in October, and I was just floored how it, mimics the food noise just like the shots did. And that's what got me started to share it with the world. And then I also, send, graphics. And then we had conversation about the GLP-1 shot. And then I went through that with her. I sent her the Ripple. She said she's on now. And she told me that she was doing Thrive. So, I just stayed focused on talking about the daily health system. I sent her the starter bundle to look at. And then she was asking if it comes fast. I said, typically it's, pretty fast shipping. Where are you located? I said, it won't take long. I'm in Florida. Said, "I hope you have a good night." I sent the voice text, basically just checking in again. And then I got on a Zoom with her. This is something that I've been doing when I'm in a conversation with somebody and they're like on the fence. Like I find that having them jump on a Zoom with me, like really, really, gets them over whatever feeling they're having, because you're having that talk face to face.
I love
Um,
that.
so, and that's really been helping me a lot. I just started that a couple of weeks ago, and I signed 6 new associates this month. Um, and then I sent her the screenshot of all the bundles, sent her my link, and sent another voice text, and she did her order. She got the starter bundle with the collagen added. And I said, I'm happy for you. Please let me know when you have some time for next week so I could do the welcome call. And we did the welcome call already. And she signed up as an associate with me. So
I absolutely love that. And I want everyone to pay attention to the fact that this conversation started for her in January.
yeah.
So this was not like if you just started a conversation, this is what I meant when I started, and you're frustrated that it hasn't converted yet. This was a process. And Renee's doing this with multiple people at the same time. The other thing that I want you to take away, and I think Renee, you can share too, what you think is the most impactful, but not only is she incredibly consistent, you go to her profile, there's not a day she's not posting. There's not
Yeah.
a day there's nothing in her stories. And she works a 9 to 5.
Which I'm at work right now.
She's at work right now on her lunch break. And
Yeah.
so that's the thing that I want you to think about is that she's consistent and she's doing a lot of lives with teammates.
Yeah.
And sharing her story over. All she's doing is sharing her story. And like I said this morning, if you don't have a big story, that doesn't matter. We have share hers. We have
And
160,000 people that you can share their story. Go ahead.
And the other thing that I do is when I sign someone up, no matter if it's a customer or if it's an associate, like I have a challenge group chat that I create where we stay accountable with each other. And I've gotten actually a lot of people from there that sign up as an associate as an upgrade. So like, because you're giving that continued support. So like, and it's not something that I have to look at every time because, that chat pretty much does it on its own. And I check in here and there. Okay, this is what I did. This is what you did. And we just support each other. And for me, support comes a long way because I know what it feels like not to feel supported. So I want to be there to support people where they need it. And so that's what I'm doing.
I love that you shared that because that's doable for everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Renee isn't doing anything that's so weird that you couldn't do it. Everything she's doing, you can do. And I love that idea too. I don't do that either. Keeping your customers connected. No, somebody commented on here. Somebody told me using somebody else's story and not your own makes you look inauthentic. How do you respond to that? Well, that's a person projecting on you because I built a diamond team without a real big testimony. Is your script available, Renee? Would you be able to share either kind of your beginning or those slides maybe with Erin and we could get those uploaded? We'll do that,
Sure.
Leanne, okay? We'll get that uploaded so you can follow her progress, but she's just being a normal person. She's
Yeah.
just
And like there's days sometimes that I feel overwhelmed, but like it's okay for me to say, okay, I need to take a step back. I have my 9 to 5, I have work calls, I have this going on. So a lot of my messaging is either happening on my lunch break when I run to the bathroom, or if I'm going out for a walk, or if I'm working at night, and I'm always constantly doing something in my day for my business, like in the pockets of my day. And for me, also making sure that I'm moving my body is a big priority for me. So I'm doing that, working and doing my business. So I'm finding time for all of that. So I hope that helps.
It really does. Thank you so much for
You're
sharing.
welcome. Thank you for asking me, Sarah.
Yes, I'm so proud of you, you guys. And you know what else she's doing, by the way? This isn't part of the thing. She is following the system. The minute she gets these people in, she's connecting with them. We're getting them on a welcome call and we're getting them launched, and it's duplicating. So make sure you're following the system when you get them in too. That's huge. So yes, absolutely, Ashley. And Renee is phenomenal at multitasking. And everybody is. You just got to find the margin, right? So I absolutely love that, Renee. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So I want to kind of move forward a little bit into um, pivoting the conversation, okay? We did talk about this the other night. Now, you guys have sent some messages out. You don't need to pivot. And here's what I want you to remember. You do not need to pivot the conversation right away, okay? You haven't built that relationship unless it comes up. Then there's not much of a pivot because it's already come up, right? So a lot of times you have to take a few of those conversations. If you heard what Alicia trained on with me the other night, we're creating conversations that are going to end up converting. You have to figure out when the appropriate time is to pivot. I mean, Renee started out in that conversation with Amy already. She reached out because she watched her live. She was paying attention to who was hopping on that live. And she reached out to her. This is also where you can use your stories as a way to recruit and start conversations. People who view your stories, they've taken that first action. You can start that conversation from there. That's one of my favorite scripts. I grew a ton when I started doing that. And because we're always adding fresh people into our realm, like Nicole said, as you're building those friendships, you're adding friends, you're connecting in Messenger, they start to see your stuff. So when they look at your stories, you can send that conversation starter because they took the first action. I use that all the time. Hey, Karen, I saw you checked out my story in the Daily Health System. I would love to give you information on that if you're interested. Or if you're just being a supportive friend, that's okay too. I appreciate you checking out my story. But I would love to give you info. A lot of people maybe weren't interested until you said something and you put it in their brain and they were like, because here's the thing, I watch a lot. Think about your own self for a minute. How much do you, first of all, look at on Facebook that you either don't comment, love, like, you're just scrolling, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, right? Are you responding in any way to every single post? No, you're not. So when something catches your attention and you respond to it, right? That's showing something, right? Let me answer this really quick. Yes, you do not have to pivot these quickly. We are planting seeds. You want people to know that you're in this to build a relationship with them. Now, it can move quickly. Sometimes it happens very quickly. Other times, like I told you this morning, I followed up and built a relationship with a lady for 4 freaking years before she joined me. That's why we're always having new ones, right? Always building new friendships, always having new conversations. We're planting as many seeds as we can. They're not all going to come to fruition, and definitely not all quickly. So that's why every day you want to be sure that you're sending those conversation starters, reaching out to the people that do view your stories. Somebody said, oh, I have a bunch of other network marketers. And they're all watching my stories. I would message them anyway. And just make sure that you're saying in that message, or were you just being a supportive friend? I find that that is a really important piece. If you give them an out, they don't feel like they've been spammed. Are you interested in my daily health system, or were you just being a supportive friend? Either way, I really appreciate you. Thanks for checking it out. A lot of people are just scrolling mindlessly, but when you put that thought in their brain, you will be surprised. How many people will be like, oh, I was just supporting you. But actually, now that you say something, I was kind of curious. I have been thinking about that. I do need to lose some weight. I was considering the shot. That's a super simple pivot, right? And that doesn't make you feel weird or spammy. And they took the first action. And now you've created that conversation in Messenger again, like Nicole was talking. Now they're going to keep seeing it again and again and again and again and again. You've brought them into your realm. Oh, they called you. That's okay. That's okay. That's one of the things Eric talks about as well. If you have people in your phone, maybe you don't have a lot in Messenger. I guaranteed where if you were on that training, he does this every time. He'll be like, open up your phone and how many contacts do you have? Now, most of us have people I literally like, oh, Jennifer that I rear-ended in the parking lot of the grocery store. I might not message her. Most likely not, right? My ex-husband's cousin? Probably not. Probably not messaging that guy either, right? So probably not everybody in your phone list, but I bet you'd find a bunch that you could recreate that or reconnect with that you haven't in a while. The memory jogger, Aaron Parker has pulled up somewhere. I don't remember where, but he did post that. That's a great way to start having conversations as well. If you move through the green lights. Somebody said their Facebook's full of ads. That's okay. There's lots of other ways that you can make that connection. But you don't ask. Let's see. So yeah, Ashley, I think I'm understanding. So typically what I'll do is if that is the pivot. That is the pivot. Right? So I'm pivoting to talk about that, and that will typically open up a conversation. Now, if they completely skim over what I say and move on to something else, okay, they're not ready yet. I won't keep pushing that. But if I say, I love actually that my company provides travel for us, like we get to earn free trips. I just got one. Like that's crazy. I was just in Cancun. Have you been there?
Okay, so like when you were talking about it the other night in the training, you were like, "Oh, I drip a little bit in the conversation about the company, and then I pivoted."
Yeah.
So I think I like took it as like, "Oh, you're saying that," and then like you're having a conversation, and I'm like, "Then how do you go?" Because to me, that would be really weird to say that and then like continue on my conversation with that person, and then be like, "Oh, so are you interested in like?" That would be
Yeah.
inauthentic
Yeah. Well,
to like ask like a day later, like 3 days later after talking consistently. You know what I mean?
yes. So again, it's about being authentic, right? So if I make that statement, we've probably already been conversing, right? I'm not throwing that out there right away because that would be weird. Like oh, hey, you don't know me. I see you're in Mexico. I too love to travel. I was also in Mexico and my company gives me free travel. So like, that's weird. I would be like, great, creep. Don't send me that. Right? So when I'm saying that part, like I don't know if I've ever even talked to you about the fact that my company does provide like free trips. It's one of my favorite things. It was actually one of the things that brought me over here. It just depends on how the conversation is going, which is one of the things to make it difficult to give a hard and fast rule for the pivot because every conversation is going to be a little bit different. But like I said the other night, you're going to find something that's going to help you pivot, right? In the course of that conversation. Maybe it's not the first one. Maybe it's the second, third, fourth. And you will figure out who wants to have those conversations with you as they're going along. No, I don't remember her name, but she was just saying, like, I don't have the capacity to keep up 100 conversations every day. No, you don't. And they won't all be turning into real conversations. That's why it's a numbers game. You try to start 100 conversations, maybe a third of them actually begin. Then maybe a quarter of the third start to convert. It's a numbers game. Okay? So I don't want you to get hung up that every conversation you've started hasn't converted, you haven't pivoted, okay? No, no, no. No. Take a deep breath. We're not doing that. We're teaching you the skills that's going to help as you're continuing to do this every single day. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I do want you guys to take a few minutes to go back to some messages that you did send this week already. We'll do two things for the next 10 minutes. We're going to respond back, or not respond back. We're going to message those people again, do a reconnecting, and also a little bit of the follow-up. If you had somebody on the overview last night, you probably connected with them last night, but maybe not this morning. Now's the time to do that. Even if they ghosted you last night when you tried, we're going to check back in this morning. We're going to be authentic and postured, like I said this morning. Yes. Yep. That's great. Try to find a number that feels doable for you every day. Oh, that's really good too, Renee. She does a talking video talking about the products and then adding a testimonial slide so they can still visibly see you in there. You send that in Messenger?
I create a story with that. So like you could create a
Oh,
story
yeah,
of
yeah,
me
yeah.
talking, and then you could like shrink it and then put that testimonial there too.
Yes, I love that. We are also, guys, just FYI, when this week is done, when we're through with this campaign, I'm going to be doing some big social media trainings on how to fix your profile, how to do some stuff like that so that you can increase your views and hooks, grabbing people from Messenger, which is where I do 99.9% of my recruiting is from stories and reels. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that will be really helpful. A lot of my, I know, right? A lot of your green dots are on this Zoom. That's always it for me too. Like, who was I just talking to? That's legit. Okay. Let me just check my notes here. So I want you guys to kind of do that. Go look through your messenger and I want you to follow up with at least 5 people. And see if it's an appropriate time to pivot. It might not be.
Sarah, what are we doing with the ones that are saying that we just said hi to?
Just
And
start,
if they,
just talk to them. Yeah.
okay, so
First,
the
yeah.
ones that responded, talk to them, but the ones that didn't respond, just leave it at that for now.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Absolutely.
Sarah, I have a question.
Sure.
Okay, so that nurse that I was telling you about that I had sent you the screenshot of our conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Sent her the video. She watched the video. Hang on one second. I gotta adjust my phone holder here. So I'm not walking around with it all over the place. Anyway, I had asked her if she'd be willing to get on a 3-way with you. I told her that you at one point, or that you were retired from the medical community. She didn't answer me back. So I kind of waited till, I don't know, like a day and a half later. And I had asked her, I said, hey, because she watched the video, she liked the video and everything. And I said, hey, I said, on a scale from 1 to 10, where are you as far as wanting to join? And her reply was, I want to join, but I need to wait a couple of months. I don't know if I should ask her, is it because of finance? You know what I mean? It's like, where do I go from there? Being that I do not know her, anybody else that I know that says that, I know how to respond.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would still put her in a 3-way chat with me. I will tell you, that's good, Tiffany. Yes. And Lynn, I will address that in a second. I would still put her in a 3-way chat with me. And then, before you do that, I would just say, I love what Tiffany said. Okay, well, what's holding you back from starting right now? We have a promotion going right now that I would love for you to take advantage of, but maybe I can help troubleshoot what's making you want to wait, right? Just be kind of bold with it. Again, the posturing.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
That's what I would do. And then I would still put her in the 3-way chat with me.
Yeah, see, that's my thing, is I really want her to get into 3-way chat with you. Something is telling me that's going to be the flip.
Just do it. I don't ask.
Okay, so don't ask, just do it.
I don't ask. I just say, listen, I do this with the testimony group too. I don't ask people to add them to the testimony group.
Yeah, I don't either.
I just say, awesome, I'm going to add you to my testimony group. I'm going to tag you in some testimonies. Shoot me a thumbs up when you accept my invite and I will tag you. All right. I do the same thing with 3-way chats. I just be like, listen, I'm going to add you to a chat with my upline because I think that's really helpful.
Okay. All right.
Yep, that's what I would do.
Yep. I'm just going to do that because I really don't think it's about money. I really don't. Everything is telling me that I'm not a big enough leader in her eyes at this point. I mean, literally with just somebody that I've only been chatting with. Well, you know what, since Monday.
Yeah. Just put her in chat. Yep. Just put her in chat. Yep.
All right. I'm going to do that right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect. Of course. Lynn, you said when you go to the ones on the overview last night are there hints of what to say. So every time somebody is on an overview, I'm connecting with them the minute it's off. The minute that Zoom ends, I'm in their inbox. Timing is important. And it's okay if you didn't do that. Don't freak out. Message them now. And just say, hey, I saw that you were on the Zoom. I'm so excited you were able to hop on. What do you think? What was your favorite part? Did you see that pudding demonstration? Because that's insane. That was one of the things that brought me here. Just, again, be a real person. If you don't know who your upline is, go to the diamond in your organization and ask them. Catch up conversation with new people. Yep, and that's why it's a numbers game, Taylor. That's why I said if you send 100 messages, maybe 40 of them will respond. Maybe 15 of them will turn into a real conversation. It's a numbers game. And that's why you throw a wide net. And that's why you do it every day. Yeah, Suzanne, you just keep being a real person with him, loving on his stuff, say nice things, and then invite every once in a while. Put him on your 3-week, 3-month rotation. Okay. Tiffany, your hand's up.
Yes.
Hi.
Sorry.
No.
I want to quick bounce off of what you were saying about the three-way chat. That is huge, absolutely huge. Number one, make sure you guys are using it. Use your leaders, use the three-way chat, because third-party validation is just, it is, I always say the bee's knees. My husband laughs at me when I say it, but it is what people need. People sometimes, especially if you've been going back and forth with somebody for a while, they just need that little push from the outside to hear it from somebody else, to hear it from somebody that's been in maybe a little bit longer or has a little bit different viewpoint or a different story. And the other thing with the three-way conversation, don't ever ask anybody and say, hey, can I put you in a three-way conversation? Because most people get weird about that. Just start the three-way conversation, open it up with an edification. Jen Dowd goes over with how to do a little edification about that. You normally just say, hey, this is my mentor and leader, so-and-so. They're going to help you with whatever questions you may have and address them. Pop in your leader's inbox and say, hey, I just started a three-way chat with so-and-so. We've went over this. They've looked at this. And can you help me? And you don't have to ever ask a leader to put somebody in a three-way chat. That's why we're here. We're here to help you. We're here to get you going. This is what we love to do. We love to help you help people. We love to help people. But three-way chats, and believe it or not, guys, even though we're, sapphires, emeralds, stuff like that, we still use three-way chats. I personally still use three-way chats. I will use Rob in a three-way chat. I will use Angela in a three-way chat. I still reach out to my higher ups and use them at times because that third-party validation is absolutely huge. So, reach out to your leaders, because that is why we are here. We are here to help you guys and to make this community grow even bigger so that we can help more people.
Absolutely. And I need to mention that's what the Parkers are talking about tonight with Jen Dowd. Don't miss that training tonight, because the three-way chat, like Tiffany said, that is one of the most powerful tools you have in your tool belt. And so you need to learn how to do it correctly to make it successful. So make sure that you are, like she said, all leaders don't mind. Throw me in a chat. You don't need, throw me in a chat and then tell me what it's for. I literally in millions and millions of chats. Okay, that's an exaggeration. Not that many, but a lot of chats, right? Yep, everything will be posted, so don't worry about that. Yeah, I love that, you guys. So I want you to take time today to continue those conversations. And then the last thing that I want you to do is do as much follow-up today as you can as well. Okay? I would add adding new friends and starting new conversations and follow up as the non-negotiables in your business, no matter what. Yeah. So family is a little bit different. I'll just be honest with you. My family is not my target audience. I do not have my family in the business with me. I technically do, but they're not working the business. I would not worry about the family. My siblings haven't ordered any products. Like, okay, don't worry about that. Your family's not your people for this. Now, they'll come around, some maybe. I've been here 2.5 years. Like I said, I have no one in my family taking these products except for my parents, and that's because I built them an account and I was like, listen, you can get a free Jeep, but you got to buy products every month. So my mom does, and she loves it. But aside from that, the rest of them, no. I've got 3 siblings, none of my cousins, nobody. No one. Okay, so they're not your target audience, everybody else's. All right. Well, we're going to close it out, guys. This was a little different than I thought, but I think this was good, right? I so appreciated Renee sharing. Thank you, Tiffany. I love all of the feedback. Again, you guys, if you're never sure about who to reach out to, thank you, Erin, for recording. Any one of us leaders who have hosted any of these, reach out to us, okay? We can help you connect with who your next in line might be, especially if you're new, but we're always happy to help, okay? Keep doing the things. Keep talking to yourself like the leader that you are, okay? Because you can do this. You absolutely can do this. You can win. You can have success. You're going to recruit. We are giving you the roadmap, and I believe in you guys so, so, so much. So let me know. Yes, do not forget the training tonight with Erin and Kathy Parker and Jen Dowd. It is going to be insane. Get your whole team on. I'm so excited about it. If you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me, of course, anytime. And I want to know your wins. I know I already gave you instruction this morning to share. Share your wins in that chat, guys. That's what it's there for. Share the win. Doesn't need to be a recruit for it to be a win, but we want to know. And that encourages others to be bold, to take the steps, to make the moves. Okay? All right. I love you guys so much. Thanks for hopping on. We will get this uploaded with Renee's script ASAP. You guys have an awesome day.